Good evening, friends. Welcome to Konexio Technical Insights. I'm Rahul Randeria, and I will be conducting today's show. Today, we would be discussing regarding the trends, the setups, the technical indicators, and the technical formations or patterns on the Nifty, Bank Nifty, and different asset classes. Let us discuss what we have mentioned in our last video. In our last video, we have mentioned that initially Nifty might correct maybe 1.5%, and then from there we might see a rally. But most probably Nifty saw a sharp sell-off. Nifty made a low around 15,520 odd marks, and from there we have seen Nifty rallying and just ended on a positive note. But what we have been seeing in the last couple of months, the Nifty has been consolidating into a triangular formation on the daily charts you will see on the screen, and which has failed to break out those levels around 15,960 and the 16,000, which is the psychological mark. Yes, you can clearly see on the daily charts. Now, let us discuss what is the probability of Nifty to see whether what will be the trend for the next week. Now, looking at the formation on Thursday, I mean to say last week Thursday was an expiry, and we have entered into a new series of August series. Looking at the daily charts, Nifty has been consolidating on the daily charts, making a triangular formation. You can clearly see on the daily charts that in the mid of the May, the volatility was a little bit broad, and slowly and gradually it is getting narrower and narrower. So it is clearly indicating that Nifty is about to see a breakout on the upside. Definitely, looking at the global setups, there might be some volatility for the next week also. So again, the strategy would be the same what we have been discussing in the last couple of weeks. That the strategy would be again buy on dips. So any 1% correction in Nifty should be used as a buying opportunity. And we have an initial target that this horizontal blue line, which is the multiple resistance area, the first resistance area is 15,915. Then above that 15,960, and if it breaks above that, then Nifty might go beyond those particular breakout levels and might go above 16,000 levels. So we have a view that buy on dips should be the strategy for the next week. So now let us discuss the important support and resistance for the Nifty in the next week. The crucial support in the Nifty are placed at 15,645, the first support. Below that, the second support is at 15,115. And below that, the third support is at 15,450. Whereas on the upside, the first resistance is placed at 15,881. Above that, the next resistance would be about 15,962, which is its lifetime high. And if it closes above those levels, the next resistance would be 16,082. So these are the crucial important support and resistance level for the Nifty for the next week. So again, the strategy would be buy on dips for the next week. Let us discuss Bank Nifty. In Bank Nifty also, in the last couple of months, what we have been seeing that it has been consolidating in the tight range of 34,000 on the downside and 36,000 on the upside. This 2,000 point of congestion range has never been breached in the whole, from mid of the May till the current date. Currently, the price are just placed near the midway with a positive momentum. Though the candles are showing red on the charts, but on the hourly charts, if you see the formation is of the pattern is indicating that it is in a making of some sort of bottom at these levels, and Bank Nifty also might start rallying from these levels. But as I said, next week would be again volatile. Any dips, maybe 1% dip or maybe 200, 250 point correction should be used as a buying opportunity in Bank Nifty also. So again, strategy would be buy on dips in Bank Nifty. So now let us discuss the important support and resistance in the Bank Nifty. The first crucial support in the Bank Nifty are placed at 34,555. Below that, the next support is at 34,115, and below that, the next support is at 33,558. So these are the important support for the next week. On the upside, the first resistance is placed at 34,841. Above that, Next resistance is 34,346, and above that, the third resistance is at 35,751. So most probably, these are the important support and resistance. Traders should watch out for these levels closely, and if there is a correction, that should be used as a buying opportunity in Bank Nifty also. Now, let us come to the third segment of our show, which is option analysis. In this segment, we would discuss, the building up of the open interest into particular strike price, at the money or out of the money calls, or out of the money puts in Nifty as well as Bank Nifty. So, first of all, let us discuss in Nifty. In Nifty, we have seen that there was a rise in the open interest seen in the out of the money calls, were concentrated towards the level, towards the strike price, in the strike price of 15,800. You can clearly see on the screen there has been a rise in the open interest in 15,800 calls, then about that 15,900 calls, and 16,000, which is the psychological barrier, and which has acted as a major resistance in the last couple of months. So you can clearly see uh, on the rise in the open interest and percentage change into this particular uh, into the option premiums of the strike price. The important thing which I would like to highlight in this particular analysis is look at the IVs. The IVs of this of the out of the money calls are comparatively less, which clearly indicates lower the IV, there are chances that we might see a rally on the upside. So one should wait for some corrections, then watch out for this particular strike price, and one can take a positional long calls in Nifty out of the money calls from these levels. Now let us see in Nifty puts where there has been a concentration in the Nifty puts. In Nifty puts, the rise in the open interest was seen in 15,700 puts, then 15,600 puts, and 15,500 puts. Now here also you can see there has been a rise in open interest. There has been a slightly change in, to say slightly correction percentage change in on the negative side in the option premiums in Nifty puts, but those are not that much. What we say that they're not that much alarming. I would say IVs are high, so which clearly shows us that definitely we might see, if there is maybe a correction, we might see writing of out of the money puts from these levels. Or if there is a correction, then we might see the option writers getting active towards writing the Nifty out of the money puts, where we might see Nifty taking support, a strong support near 15,500 for the next week. So definitely looking at this analysis also, it clearly indicates what I feel, that the strategy should be buy on dips in Nifty. Now let us discuss the option analysis in Bank Nifty. In Bank Nifty, the activity of the rise in the open interest was seen in 34,800 calls, then 35,000 calls, then 35,500 calls. You can see on the charts, on the screen, that there has been a rise in the open interest, but the premium has eroded significantly, because in the last fag end, Friday's fag end, what we have seen, that there was slight sell-off, which might have invited the option sellers getting active at the higher levels in Nifty, Bank Nifty out of the money calls. But these are just an indication where we might see, again at lower levels, Bank Nifty taking a support, and then we might see slowly and gradual rallying towards or the upward trajectory. So the strategy should be buy on dips in Bank Nifty also. Now let us discuss in Bank Nifty puts. In Bank Nifty puts, the rise in the open interest was seen at 34,300 puts, then 34,000 puts, and 33,500 puts. Here again, you can see the rise in the open interest, slightly rise in the percentage in the premium. Again, what you can see, that This is clearly indicating that for the next week, 33,500 could act as a strong support for Bank Nifty for next week. Maybe 1% correction in the Bank Nifty might invite, the buyers. I mean to say, uh, the bulls to enter the Bank Nifty at the lower levels. So again, in the put, I feel that if there is a correction or 1% cool off, the option sellers in the out of the money puts might get active at those levels. I mean to say when Nifty gets maybe a dip of 1% or so. So again, looking at the technical indicators, technical charts, supports and resistance, option analysis in Nifty and Bank Nifty, the strategy remains to be buy on dips at least for the next week. Now let us discuss, or let us come into the last segment of today's show, is a positional call. I've identified one stock from the mid cap segment. The name of the stock is Aarti Industries. You will see on the charts. The stock is in the formation of making a flag pattern. Yes, you can clearly see on the charts. The price volume actions is clearly indicating that in the last 2 months, the any dips, sharp dip has been seen a sharp rise. You can see the fall has taken a much time, whereas the rise in the particular stock is very sharp and it in a very short span of time. So definitely the momentum is picking up in the stock. The stock is on a verge of a breakout of a black pattern. Any correction in the stock should be used as a buying opportunity. The stock has closed around 938 or 35 on Friday. RSI is also into comfort zone. So any correction should be used as a buying opportunity in Aarti Industries. So positional traders, short-term investors, or those who want to take a call for next 2 to 3 months can buy Aarti Industries on dips to maybe 910 for an upside positional target of 1050 in short to medium term. So looking at the chart formation, I'm expecting a breakout of a flag pattern from these levels. So swing traders, positional traders, short-term investors can accumulate the stock on dips to 5910 for an upside target of 1050 for short to medium term. So this was the view what we have seen or what we have observed in the last week, and looking upon those particular facts and figures and data, we feel that the strategy should be buy on dips in Nifty and Bank Nifty for at least for the next week. So friends, thank you very much for watching the show. Any suggestion you can give in the comment box. So have a nice trading week. Thank you.